Today, I will be discussing one of the most powerful laws or principles on the earth with you. And if you understand this principle and you apply this principle, you will be able to do more by actually doing less. You will be able to make more money by actually working less. You will be able to be more productive by doing less. It is like the lazy man's way to riches. Oh, yes, the lazy man's way to riches. So, what is it all about? It is the 80-20 principle, or what is named after Wilfred Pareto, an Italian economist that discovered this principle. What does the principle talk about? The principle entails the imbalance system of sharing wealth in the economy, in systems, in countries, in everywhere you find yourself. What happened is that Wilfred Pareto studied and find out that 80% of lands in Italy is owned by 20% of people, of the Italians, right? Then the remaining 20% of the lands is being shared, being struggled, being shared among 80% of people. Like, it is like a shift in dynamics. 80% of people of the lands is being owned by 20% of people, while the remaining 20% of land is being owned and controlled by 80% of people, which means 80% of people are struggling managing 20% of the lands in Italy, and 80% of land is being owned by only 20% of people. Come to Nigeria, 80% of wealth in Nigeria is being owned by 20% of people, while 20% of the wealth is being managed by 80% of population. That is the imbalance in the system. So why this imbalance? What is it that these 20% of people that are controlling 80% of wealth, what is it that they know that you don't know? That is what I will discuss with you extensively, so that you become wise, so that you become educated, so that you apply this principle. But then, before we go far, my name is Muhammad Ilyas Pada, and I claim to be the best internet marketing expert in Africa, and I am on a mission to become a billionaire by 2030. So if you want to join me on this mission, let's see it in the comment section. And how do I want to become a billionaire? By selling physical products online, which is referred to as e-commerce. That is how I want to become a billionaire. I've started, and I'm on my way already. So now let's dissect this a little bit, right? With this principle, like I say, you will be able to do more by doing less, right? You will be able to what? Do more by doing less. And it can distinguish being productive from being busy. You can be busy, but you are not productive. So what you want to do is to be productive, not busy, right? Then 20% of books, right, contain 80% of the most important content of that book. 20% of that book. So how do you identify this 20% of this book that contain 80% of the most important content of the book? Okay. The next is 80% of exam contents come from 20% of the entire thing that was discussed in that semester, in that time, in that period, or whatever it is. Okay. Then 20% of contents, like content creators, right, generate 20% of their content, generate 80% of the views and likes and the follows that they get. Okay. Then 20% of the products. I am an e-commerce, and I know this quite well. I am in e-commerce, right? 20% of the product you are selling, you may be selling, like, let's say, plenty product, but 20% of those products, they are responsible for 80% of the money you will be making at that particular time. Then 20% of your customers gives you 80% of the money. So what is in this 20% of customers that others that you need to replicate? What should you understand about these 20% of customers? That is what big and successful business people do, right? And in the next video, I am going to give a real life example in Nigeria, Africa, and the world, so that you see. I'll give a real life example across business, across farming, across anything, so that you see how these people they are practical people that you know. Most of them you are going to know them, right? You see how they become wealthy using this 80-20 principle. Okay, please, if you are watching this video on YouTube, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you are watching it on Facebook, please follow my page, share it so that other people can benefit from it. Then if you are watching me on TikTok or any other platform, please share it and follow my page. Now, in the next video, I'm going to discuss practical life example. You're going to see it yourself. You will be like, wow, this is how it has been going. You can implement this strategy on yourself, right? Either you are a skilled person, you have a skill. If you have like different skills, you realize that there is one part of that skill that is actually generating you the money the most. So you focus on that part, right? Then in the third part of the video, I am going to talk about the reverse pattern that has been used in Nigeria and how it has caused destruction to people, to businesses, and all that. And it is one of the reasons why a lot of Nigerians are not successful in business, because they don't apply this principle in their businesses. So see you in the next video.